Hi guys, this is Quick Notes, and I'm going to be giving you a summary of Night by Elie Wiesel. Okay, so to start, this novel takes place in multiple places. Each of these locations has a great impact on the course of the novel. The book starts off in the Transylvanian town of Szeged. This place has deep connection with many of the characters in the book. It is the hometown of Ellie's family and himself. His father's store in the town and all his childhood memories are stored in the city of Transylvania. After the Nazis take over the city, Ellie's family and himself have to go to a Jewish ghetto that was located in the town. While in the ghetto, the family's old maid, Martha, offers them refuge. This indicates that the family was well respected to the point that people helped them with ease. The father, Shlomo, refuses this offer, which is a choice that he will later regret, and naturally his family refuses as well. After this incident, the Germans moved the Jewish community to cattle cars. The conditions in these cars are inhumane. People fight for air and space. While Elly'S and his family go to these cars, the story introduces a new character, Madame Schechter, a 50-year-old woman with a 10-year-old son whose husband had been deported. Throughout the train ride, this woman keeps speaking about the fire. This eventually annoys the passengers and causes them to beat her up. After the cattle ride is over, the story reveals a new setting, Auschwitz, a dreadful concentration camp in which millions were wrongfully killed. Upon arrival, the Jewish community meets with SS officers. Elly'S family is separated. A prisoner approaches Elly'S and his father and tells them to change their age. This ended up being great advice due to the fact that the Nazis wanted bodies that were able to work for them. The family thought that they were going to the crematory to be killed in a painfully inhumane way. However, they are spared. During this part of the novel, Elly'S starts to doubt God, telling himself what does he have to be grateful for. This later develops to be a major theme in the book. During their stay at Auschwitz, the father and son are contently troubled. They had to be in a good physical condition to even stay alive. They also had to work rigid jobs with unpropitious foods. As hope and morals go to an all-time low, some Jewish prisoners are given a chance to go to a new camp, Buna. By the time Elly'S and his father arrive at Buna, they are looking empty and dead. The new inmates are given to their units, and these units decide which jobs they perform. During Elly'S stay at Buna, all new inmates are given a medical and a dental examination. During these checkups, the doctors look for gold crowns. Since Elly'S has a gold crown, the doctor writes his name on a list. Elly'S is told to have his gold crown removed, but makes up many excuses to keep his crown. Later, though, unfortunately, he is forced to give it up to Frank, the foreman. After this event, Eidik whips Elly'S and his father out of pure anger. An air raid occurs after this. It can be considered an important event in the novel because it relights the hopes of many inmates. Soon after, the inmates in Buna celebrate Rosh Hashanah. This act enrages Elly'S, who begins to continue his hate upon God. He protested God by not fasting. A section process occurs to see which inmates are still fit to work. Elly'S passes this section and continues his toil to survive. His foot begins to swell, and a Jewish doctor tells Elly'S that he needs an operation on his foot and that it will have to be amputated. After hearing this, Elly'S enters the hospital. Life there was described as a bit better than regular. Prisoners were given thicker soup and even had sheets on their beds. Russians were heard nearby the camp, and this caused an evacuation in the camp. The inmates were forced to walk 42 miles to the last camp to Buchenwald. This journey could be described as the cruelest and most inhumane part of the novel. The prisoners are starved to death and treated like animals with little to no air to breathe in a cramped car. After a life and death journey, out of the hundreds of people in the journey, only a dozen arrive at the camp. Elly'S and his father continue, however, and Elly'S dad gets a severe illness. His father has dysentery, which is a disease, and is about to die. Elly'S takes care of his father till his last days. He is told every man for himself in the camps, but still takes care of his ill father until he loses hope. Finally, his father is killed by an SS officer for mourning too much, and this gives Eliza the cold feeling of freedom from taking care of his father. This can be considered the most climactic point of the story. Time passes, and life seems meaningless to Eliza. The only thing that matters is food. The Allies approach the camp. The Germans take their final plan into action to liquidate the Jews. Many are murdered and others revolt. American tanks are at the door of Buchenwald and inmates were freed. They attack the food like animals, and Eliza gets food poisoning. He is in a life or death battle and sees himself as a dead boy. So this is the end of our summary. Go like and subscribe and comment below whatever books you guys want us to summarize next. Thanks.